Let's do this properly. It's time for another Bugsy editorial. I haven't done like an editorial in a long ass time. Like Bugsy Corner videos are just me talking about my opinion. But, Bugsy editorials are me just actually talking about a general topic. And what I'm about to talk about is important. And I know some of you are probably looking at the title. You're gonna be like, Bugsy, stop acting like goddamn neat. You shouldn't care about a show this much. But you know what? Let me explain something to you. People who really don't like a direction of the show and the way it's going. Like, okay, let's look at like Doctor Who. That's a very good example. People always go like, "What? Like, you shouldn't hate Doctor Who and be this involved. It's just a show." See, but like people don't understand why people give a shit about Doctor Who, even when they know that these these episodes that they're watching with Jodie Whittaker aren't as good as the old ones. And it's not because she's a woman. Seriously, keep using that fucking excuse that we're all sexist assholes. Y'all can't think of anything else. See, I took logic and rhetoric classes in high school. You know, that's a weak ass argument if ever there was one. You know, generalizing a bunch of us because, oh, the only reason we don't like new Doctor Who is obviously because we're sexist. That just proves that you don't know how to perform a proper argument, and none of you actually have debating skills of any kind. But let me lay it down for you. You don't like it because the stories are low in quality. Stuff kind of gets swept under the rug. Heck, I like that revolution or evolution of dialects. This is all you got? You brought back Jack for this shit? And then insult his character? Oh, you can generally go like, my characters are better. freaking Jack is it like having Yaz go, yeah, you're overcompensating for something. Why do you have to be like, hey, Jack, you overcompensating for something? How about like no one asks Jack any freaking questions. He has to like bring it to the attention of why he's ever living and all that. Although I wish they keep bringing him back, but they kind of metamorphosize himself into the face of Bo, so it kind of just ties everything together. And he just goes back in time to where he meets the Doctor in his 10th generation, and we get that. We understand where that goes. But that's neither here nor there. People care about these characters because either A, we grew up with them, and B, even if we didn't, we like them now, and we want to see them get better. It's not about we want it our way. Sure, a bunch of elitist assholes would do that, but not everybody's like that. People care about a show because they either want it to improve. Some could be elitist assholes, but other people just want a good show, like Doctor Who. Some people want a good game, like Sonic. It really sucks that, like, for everything that Sega's doing right now, which is a lot, and people don't really give Sega too much goddamn credit, because all they care about is fucking Sonic right now, that Sega's been, like, going at all cylinders. I'm not saying, like, I'm the only true fan that knows about this. I feel like people don't, because all they know about Sega is Sonic. Sonic's always been in the spotlight, and only a subsection of fans a bunch of fans who like PSO, a bunch of fans who like Yakuza, a bunch of fans who like freaking Soccer Wars. We've got, people have spoken up about how they feel about it. That's why they're getting more of a priority to it. And I like that. Also, I looked at freaking the Soccer Wars phone game. I heard what that's all about, and I'm like, so you having Soccer Wars in like present day? Holy! I mean, I know it's a phone game, guys, and I know we're taking a little bit of a detour, but like, I'm very interested. What would even a present day version of Soccer Wars World even look like? Because everything was already advanced as it was. So I want to know, how far would that go? See, my mind boggles. And I'm thinking about it because I'm a fan of that series, I hate when people shun like, it's just a show. So people have their opinions of what they do or don't like. If they show a little hyper devotion, that's fine as long as they ain't hurting nobody. Or, it's not like the all consuming thing of their lives. Like a certain Son 80 fan who's not gonna be named. See, there ain't nothing wrong with just, loving the series and, you're showing your devotion a little too, showing your devotion a little too much. As long as you ain't hurting nobody or trying to say that you're the superior fan, I think we're all good. That's why I never really like people go on Team Fighter, which is now Goku Warrior. The the man literally basically goes. The man literally goes like, you're not a fan because if you like sub and only sub, you're not a fan. When people do like both, and some people prefer one or the other, but no, you gotta like what he likes. Those are the kind of elitists I hate. But I hate motherfuckers who just think we hate. I hate motherfuckers who also think we just hate Doctor Who now because it's a woman. No, I don't like Doctor Who because they don't do anything with the fact that the Doctor is now a woman. There's a lot of things you can play with. But to me, Jodie Whittaker's whole personality is so bland. And everybody can say, oh, well, Bugsy, she's kind and good. Kind and good, is that all you got? Is that all you got? No, for a person who develops his own characters, kind, good. Dude, like, those are synonymously the same. And, her saying bye fam to Graham and Ryan, like, come on. Do you really have to be hip with the kids of the day? Like, dude, it's like the equivalent of, if you guys remember this, from your school days, like when a improv group, one of the leaders of the improv group would sit in a chair while you're at an assembly and like sit in it backwards to kind of like relate to you and have like a backwards cap on. He's like, gang, let's rap for a bit. Like, dude, I don't even say cringy, but like, legit. The fact that they have to make the Doctor hip like that, it just shows that Jimbo didn't really know how to really write the Doctor. I mean, let me just say one thing. There was a Trump analog, right? In like the Spider episode. And this dude is just straight up Trump shadow. But when he kills the spiders, like, all Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is saying, she goes like, no! And he just shoots the spiders. And then he goes like, I'm the one America needs. I'm like, why? Why, Doctor? Oh, why didn't you stop him? Also, she blew up a kid. That's like, there are so many ways that could have been fixed. that Amazon analog episode. There's so many ways that could have been fixed, but that's what you get when the writer is so busy trying to make everything his own soapbox. Like, Jimbo just doesn't care because making his statement is what really matters. Nothing else. And people like um, Davis are saying whatever he's calling himself nowadays. They just kind of skirt this and just shirk the criticism. Like, well, I like he always has this kind of like air of like you don't know what you're talking about, and I know because Jim can't do no wrong. I always hate that mindset because legit he can do something wrong. He's been doing something wrong, and I feel like some of us should call him out on it. It's not like I remember he was talking about clownfish being the outrage police, and let me be real. Nowadays they kind of are. I ain't gonna make no fucking allusions to that. But back in the day when they were just talking about Doctor Who and how bad it was their opinion. And this man was like, no, they're just being outraged, it's sexist, and all that other shit. And I'm like, no, they have a reason for feeling like that. Everybody does. But you wanna devaluate it because it's not lining up to what you want it to be. And then people will say, like, get a life. You guys don't need to be thinking about Doctor Who that much and all this other shit. But we're fans. We're going to care. Regardless of what any of you motherfuckers may say. I don't care what any of you think about me or anybody else. We care about Doctor Who. We just want some good stories. We want Jim to at least, put forth some actual effort to make these characters right. Now we got the Doctor and Yaz. Who knows where that's gonna go? Because they can't even pull the trigger if Yaz and the Doctor are gonna be a thing or not. I'm like, when I'm watching one of the Jim Doctor Who episodes, I'm like, pick a lane, Jim. Don't pick a lane. Decide what you want the Doctor to do. Decide where you want the story to go. You can't keep meandering and keep making your freaking your overt social commentary. Because I don't think you all know this, but the world is kind of in a state of, oh my god, why won't it stop? And some people don't want to be reminded of that. Some people just want a little bit of an escapism. Just for like an hour, a few minutes. But Jim wants to constantly make Doctor Who a soapbox. And really, the seasons he's been working on, they're just going to be a time cap. Like, a few years from now, when people are doing some other shit, it's going to be a time capsule. A relic of that time and how everything was. And future generations are going to look at it and be like, man, what were they thinking back in those times? And they're probably going to look at my shit and go, yeah, this guy was weird. I don't try to pretend like I'm this awesome writer that knows what he's doing. Because trust me, sometimes I don't have a plan, I just kind of wing it. But the thing about Jimno is, the man can actually make something at least decent. The fugitive with the Judean was actually pretty cool. I didn't like Ruth being in a past incarnation of Doctor. I would have really liked her to be a future incarnation of Doctor. Because she actually had more of a personality than Jodie Whittaker. I'm not saying like the Doctor needs to be I'm not saying Jodie Whittaker needs to be an alternate version of the Doctor in a parallel universe. I just wish she would kind of change it up a bit because The Doctor is just so bland, guys. I don't care what any of you other fans think, because honestly, this is just my opinion. But a lot of people kind of feel me on the same way. Back to my original topic. Fans care for a number of reasons. Because they grew up with it, or they don't like the direction it's going. And people like Jim and other people of the BBC be clapping back at these fans, and like all these other motherfuckers be applauding them for, oh yeah, let's stop the toxic fans, yay, yay. I'm like, no, why you guys want to act unprofessional and shit? That's exactly why I don't like. That's why Roger Craig Smith left Sonic. I was like, yay, but I was like, yay. Because during that whole Sonic R fiasco, he just lost all his shit. Listen. As a critic, and as a guy who makes something, just saying, if you don't like it, don't say anything at all. No. If the person needs to say something about an art piece of art or work, they're free to criticize. I'm sorry you think we live in this society where we shouldn't speak up and talk about this shit, because honestly, that's what actually helps certain creators. May it won't help some of you guys if someone criticizes you, but some of you guys can't take criticism. Hell, half of these people on YouTube, they can't take any kind of criticism. They'll just block their ears and go, not listening, I can't hear you, and it's just so dumb. But when like someone from the industry claps back at a fan, and it's like, and the name ain't a certain Sonic fan that acts like an idiot, and they just have an opinion, and some people can't take it, I'm just like, Roger Craig Smith, ever since that day, rubbed me the wrong way. I don't care. I don't care if he's like best friends with Eddie Jones, and they freaking hang out. They hung out on the weekends and chilled and ate boiled goose. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, I just didn't like people like Roger Craig Smith that attack fans over something that shouldn't even be an issue. And I hate that shit. Because not everybody's a toxic fan. Some people just have opinions. They're not being an asshole. I'm gonna just say it now. True Love Hearts, he was an asshole. He wanted to make Sonic conform to what he wanted. That's a toxic fan. Same thing with freaking Side Night 3. Same kind of toxic fan. Overly in love with Silver. To the point where she fucked up her own relationships, her friendships, and various other things because loving Silver was so important. And let's look at the one person back in the day, Future Gohan. A guy who loved Toonami so much, but when it wasn't even up to the specifications, he fucking bugged the fuck out. Those people are toxic. But the people who just have opinions because they love the show or they have something to say about a certain fan project or something, you shouldn't take it as a goddamn act of war. You should take it as, oh, this person's criticizing. I hated Roger Craig Smith because it had nothing to do with them. He wasn't even in the freaking, the audio drama. Ryan Drummond was. And I gotta hand it to Ryan for not really saying nothing about that. He probably knew what was going on, but he probably didn't say nothing about it. I just really feel like I'm just tired of people being unprofessional and saying that people are toxic just because they have a few questions about something, or just because they have a criticism over something. Oh, label them toxic. Label them label them toxic. Talk about them on Twitter because, well, hey, we can't just we can't just have these people we can't just have these people have opinions because that's bad. We just want mindless sheep that will love us unconditionally and not fucking actually want to think or want to see us improve and get better. Because I guess when you're Roger Craig Smith or any of these other voice actors, there's nothing to improve. There's nothing to improve upon. At least that's what they think. Fans will always care about the franchises that they love, and regardless if you say it's just a TV show, it's just a game, it's just this, it's just that, they'll still care. Regardless of how many tweets you'll send, regardless if you block them on Twitter, they'll still care about something. You know, give me a minute, and I'm going to talk about Jonathan H. Gray, because I got a lot to say about that motherfucker. Give me a minute. John Gray. Okay. To explain John Gray, I need to go back. With John Gray, it was just the fact that he wanted Amy and Sonic together. Again, a lot of people like Sonic and Amy, and I'm not trying to attack them. But when you have such outliers in your little subsection of the community, that really sucks. Back when I used to RP as a teen, I used to do a lot of Amy fangirls that would basically say, what is Sonic in this story talk about freaking Sally? Sally's just that and all this other stuff, and it's just so stupid to me. It's so stupid because that's why I really hated Sonic 80 fans for a long ass time. Because they didn't know nothing about Sally, but they're calling this character a slut, she's this and that. And they just get so worked up about it. Because they can't stand that someone had Sonic's heart way before Amy ever did. Amy? Sonic Boom Amy? Yeah, I can see Sonic Boom Amy and Sonic getting together. Boom Sonic and Boom Amy getting together. That makes sense. They actually have a little bit more chemistry than they do in the main series. But Amy as she was in Sonic X, she was annoying, abusive, and just she couldn't function without Sonic in her life. I always hated that because Sonic's out doing his own thing and there's this one scene and bless Lisa Ortiz's heart because I really like her voice on Amy, but it's just I hate that Amy in that show was just so annoying. I know for a lot of girls out there, Amy was their role model, but they took what Amy would the obsessiveness of what Amy would do, and they just ran with it. And I don't know, that to me that don't seem right. Yeah, if the guy doesn't like you, constantly, just follow him to the ends of the earth, and eventually he's gonna cave. I think Sonic X gets a lot of Amy's character wrong. Because Amy does have annoying traits, but she does have traits that make her a little bit better. And playing Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 kind of reminds me of how good she actually was at one point. Before all the Flanderization, before she was this rage beast. Only wanting Sonic to give up his sample in his pants. And, a lot of Sonic fans ran with that shit. And I hate that. Because again, they hated a character because that character was close to Sonic in a continuity that is separate from theirs. The comics are another thing because in the comics, Amy is aged up because of the ring, but she has the mental capability, she has still the brain of a 12-year-old girl. And I hate how people overlook that, but yeah. I mean, and even, see, and there's one part of, like, Sally being a robot that really chokes me up. It's the fact where, so it's like, you could finish me and have Sonic all to yourself. And then, like, and he goes, no, Sally, we're friends. And I'm like, it's like, why could the Sonic 80 fans ever consider that? Sure, we may like different things, but at the end, at the end of the day, we're just talking about ships. Ships shouldn't be like this fight for control. But John Gray didn't think of it that way, and just kind of from what I heard, hijacked the story. So Sally would bug out at Sonic, even though when you really think about how her bug out is, even though Jonathan H. Gray intended this to be like this most ugliest thing that can happen between Sonic and Sally, it kind of did the opposite effect and actually kind of explained how Sally felt at the moment having Sonic back but having him hurt again and how that all felt. She was irrational. She was emotional. And if, like, Sonic X ain't would probably do it, she'd probably be sad, yeah, but she'd probably hit Sonic with that hammer. I like Amy in the Archie books because Amy understands that that freaking Sonic is in love with Sally. But she ain't gonna try and get in the way of that. She's not gonna try and put a wedge to them. Be like this fucking cartoony ass villain. She accepts it. But I just wanted to give you some context. But Jonathan Gray was like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna have this happen, and everybody who whines and cries about it, they're just mad at me over something that happened years ago. And like one of the tweets was like, people are still mad at me over a thing that happened with a cartoon chipmunk 12 years ago or something like that. And like we had the two little chuckleheads replying to this man and laughing like that. Oh, those Sonic fans! And I just got so. I remember when I saw that because Dunsville had like a screen cap, and I saw it because I'm subscribed to him, so I saw that and I was like, no, we're mad because you put the fandom was already kind of divided, and you just kind of put a big ass divot. No, I'm mad because you just felt like the story didn't matter. The integrity of the story didn't matter. All that mattered was your shit. A good writer would understand what another writer actually had planned and not try to divert. That's what I hate. But we're idiots for being mad at what he did. Because now that we know the severity of what he's done and we've seen it firsthand, yeah, people would be mad. People would be pissed. This fandom has already been divided into subsections after this, but this is like the first start. And don't even get me started on the Sonic Tubers that really divided this fandom into like subsections. Why you should hate the Archie comic because it's weird, uncomfortable, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, and that's why I'm still working on Project Freedom right now. I'm just picking a good topic. Because I want to prove, because another thing is like, yeah, I know you fans care about Archie. I care about Archie Sonic too. And I want to prove to like I want to show the non-fans, at least I want them to consider. I don't want to change their minds, but I want them to consider that maybe from a fan's perspective, they'll learn something. They'll pull something from what I say. And they understand why people love the pre-reboot part of the comic so much. Because it had stakes, it had people, it had characters you cared about. Same with Doctor Who and a bunch of other things. We latched on these characters. We got our own attached to them. And seeing a character, like, kind of disrespected because these writers don't get it, it does kind of grate on the nerves a little bit. And to act like, oh, we shouldn't care because we shouldn't care because it's just a TV show, it's just this, it's just that, is kind of, it's kind of douchey, because being a fan means saying, yeah, you are going to care. You are going to care about, you are going to care that no effort's being put in Doctor Who. You are going to care that people just look at the Archie comics like it's a bunch of, you are going to care that, like, some artist put a divot in the Archie fandom, and, and pretty much have it already divided than it already was. Hell, you're gonna care. You're gonna care when you're trying to tell another fan why. Well, not even really why you even like some. It's saying that people had different experiences with Dragon Ball than just a person who watched the dub series. And like I was saying with that, there's nothing wrong with liking sub or dub. I'm just saying shut up and watch the anime in whatever format you want. Because honestly, I don't give a shit whether you like sub or dub. I have my own reasons for not really liking the dub, the actors doing the dub for certain things. Mostly the Funimation actors, after what happened with the controversies that happened. That's what turned me off of dubs forever. But I still watch a few dubs every now and again. Hopefully I won't be able to recognize the voice actors for reasons. See, but that's how I feel. People have their own reasons for not liking the 13th Doctor. People have their own reasons for liking Subject Up. People have their own reasons why they don't like art. Archie. People have their reasons to mad John Gray for what he did between Sally and Sonic. That is never going to change. But by saying you're going, and by saying it's just a comic, or it's just a movie, or it's just a TV show, that's kind of being counterproductive, because people are gonna care by nature, because they love these characters and they just want something good with them, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Sure, some people will get overzealous, but who doesn't on the fucking internet? It just happens. I'm not saying everybody who is just straight up like bitching at other fans, they're exempt from this. Oh no, elitist fans are not exempt from that rule. They're the reasons why other people can't get into a fandom, because they're so like, no, we must gatekeep. That's why I didn't like Sonic 93 for what she was doing originally with the one person. Can't even remember her name. I think it was Melanie. She's like, no, you cannot talk about Silver or anything like that because you're not a fan if you do. To be a fan, to like something, but also criticize it, you're still a fan. Regardless of what these, the many elitist idiots may say to you, you're still a fan. You just know, even though you still love something, you can still criticize it. Like how I criticized Tenchi Muyo for Tenchi being a fucking god, which I think is so stupid, but the seeds were already kind of sown for that, whether I like it or not. But, or how confusing Big O season 2's ending was. Or how I really, really, really now playing the Soccer Wars games, how I really hate the TV anime. Because it just makes these characters more unlikable. And it takes them a while to be the characters you know from the games. Hey, but if I'm caring too much, then the fucking alternative of not caring at all. I'm just saying, but by the same token, don't be a douchebag to these creators. Don't go on their Twitters and be like, no, you're wrong. Don't attack anybody, okay? I'm not. Trust me, I ain't fucking Jeff Fu from Mother's Basement. I ain't telling y'all to attack nobody. I'm just telling you, it ain't wrong to care about a franchise if you're a fan. That's okay. Just don't be a dick about it. And don't be like freaking Sammy and all these other freaking fans that tell you, oh, stop complaining. Because motherfucker, if you want to rage, rage. But do it in the right way. Be like me and try to show these people why they're wrong. Why it's okay to care. It's okay to be like this. Just don't be disruptive about it. Use your words. Use that wit of yours and show them. That's all I want you to do. I'm not saying attack nobody. I'm not saying go crazy and fucking show them how it's done. I'm just saying, if you really want to get these people where it hurts, hit them with the logic. Use that mind of yours. Slap them down with that logic. You trust me, the most satisfying thing in the world is like when you hit some idiotic fan or even a voice actor with some logic of why you don't like something, because they're just gonna scramble and be like, And trust me, I've done that a few times. Because I took logic and rhetoric in class, and some of that has stayed with me. But I shall leave you on this. It's not wrong to care. It's not wrong to care about a character or a franchise. You're not wrong for that. But all I have to say is just don't be a disruptive dickhead. Get them with your words. Get them with your brain. Instead of just, going like, fuck you, because they expect that. They expect you to go, fuck you, you fucking motherfucker. And what you gotta do is hook up them with a logical argument and show them why you like the thing you like. And if they don't care, well, hey, at least you proved the point. Sure, and that point may not matter in the grand scheme of things. But it's what you want to do, right? I say do it. Just don't be an asshole. Peace.